Kelly and Mark host Live this month. Kelly Ripa injects humor into the pre-recorded segments of the ABC talk show. She recently asserted that Mark Consuelos resembles a cross between a werewolf and Frankenstein. Discover why a lot of people could identify with her feelings by reading on. Real-time Ripa. Kelly has a talent for words without a doubt. It needs a certain thing to influence an audience. Additionally, Mark Consuelos' wife gets it down pat. Even when she's discussing important topics, she nevertheless manages to make your audience chuckle. She is well-liked and frequently a little inappropriate. The seasoned morning talk show anchor on Live, Kelly Ripa, wasn't sure if adding Mark Consuelos as a co-host would be successful. She actually recognized warning signs and concluded it was a bad decision. However, the public finds them captivating due to their chemistry. They mostly discuss relatable topics, particularly when couples are present. What makes Mark Consuelos a monster? Mark Consuelos and his wife have talked about their sleep habits in the past. The smallest things can cause a fallout, as anyone who has ever shared a bed with a partner knows. It has now been discovered that Mark's snoring is his worst weakness. On the June 26 broadcast of Live with Kelly and Mark, his wife revealed the news. According to Kelly Ripa, her husband woke up because he couldn't stand the sound of his snoring, according to reports. Is that anything you can identify with? Not content to stop there, the ABC host stated. He woke up and shushed himself because his snoring became unbearable. I'm serious, he muttered to himself. Are you shushing me? I asked. Since you're shushing me, if Mark is sleeping, you can hear him snoring from anywhere in the house. Mark Consuelos' wife continued to speak to the Live Kelly Ripa audience, seemingly unwilling to let it go. He's a great companion, for the most part, she continued. The best part, though, is the snoring. It's like a werewolf meets Frankenstein, she continued. When the dark-sided side of you, the you that wants to be seen, comes out. How do you feel about Kelly Ripa's assertion that Mark Consuelos snores excessively? Does it make you think of a loved one? Are you shocked that she finds humor in the idea that he is a hybrid of a werewolf and Frankenstein? It was one of those mornings on Live with Kelly and Mark when the banter between husband and wife seemed to bubble with a little more electricity than usual. The audience was buzzing, not just from the caffeine in their to-go cups, but from the subtle tension already crackling in the air before the cameras rolled. Kelly Ripa, perched delicately in her chair in a sleek dress, tapped her cue cards and gave her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, one of those looks, half playful, half dangerous. Good morning, everybody, Kelly chirped, flashing that megawatt smile that has carried her through decades of live television. Mark chimed in, his deep voice steady and smooth. But within minutes, the conversation veered away from their scripted opener into something more raw. Kelly leaned closer to Mark, her expression a mix of mock accusation and genuine disbelief. You know, Mark, she began, eyes narrowing theatrically, I realized something about you last night. The audience leaned in. Mark chuckled, trying to brace himself. Oh, here it comes. You, Kelly said, pausing for maximum drama, are a monster. Gasps and laughter erupted from the crowd. The word hung in the air, playful but sharp. Mark raised his eyebrows, feigning shock. A monster? Me? Honey, that's a little dramatic, even for you. Kelly wasn't backing down. No, not dramatic. Accurate. Precise. A monster, whoa. She looked directly into the camera for effect. Hoards the blanket at night and leaves me shivering like I'm camping on Mount Everest. The audience roared. Mark clutched his chest as if he'd been accused of a terrible crime. Oh, so that's what makes me a monster? Blanket control? But Kelly wasn't finished. She flipped her hair back, lips pursed. Don't try to soften it. Last night, I woke up at 3:14 a.m. Yes, I checked the clock. And there you were, cocooned like some smug little butterfly. Every inch of that blanket wrapped around you. I had nothing but the sheet, Mark, the sheet. Like some Dickensian orphan in a drafty attic. The live audience couldn't stop laughing. The producers were already texting each other behind the cameras, thrilled that another unscripted marital spat was turning into ratings gold. Mark tried to defend himself. Okay, first of all, I am not a monster. Second of all, you say you're freezing. But then I try to share the blanket, and you push it away. You run hot, Kelly. Kelly threw her hands up. Classic gaslighting. You see, America? This is what I live with. He twists the narrative until suddenly I'm the crazy one. No, Mark, you're the monster, because you know what else you do. The audience began chanting, what, what? Like they were part of a courtroom drama. Kelly leaned in again. You eat all the popcorn during movie night. All of it. Every single time. Mark burst out laughing. That's not monstrous. That's just being hungry. Kelly shook her head with mock sadness. No, it's monstrous. I spend 20 minutes carefully popping that bowl. Just the right balance of olive oil, salt, nutritional yeast. Wait. Mark interrupted. You add nutritional yeast? That's why it tastes weird. Kelly's jaw dropped in exaggerated horror. The audience screamed. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? He just called my gourmet popcorn weird. A monster and ungrateful. It's like I don't even know this man. At this point, the live studio audience was wiping tears from their eyes. The banter was sharper than usual, but under it all, the affection was obvious. This was their marriage, live on display, equal parts comedy show, courtroom trial, and rom-com. But Kelly wasn't letting it end just yet. She turned in her chair, adopting her most dramatic daytime soap opera voice. And let's not even talk about what you did yesterday morning. Mark groaned, already sensing he was about to be thrown under the bus again. Oh no? What now? You left the cap off the toothpaste, Kelly announced, glaring like she was unveiling the villain in a murder mystery. Mark sighed. Kelly, that's not monstrous. That's human. Kelly leaned closer. No, darling. That is inhumane. The crowd exploded with applause and laughter. Even Mark had to lean back and laugh, shaking his head. Finally, he raised his hands in surrender. Okay, guilty as charged. I'm a monster. But you know what kind of monster I am. The kind who loves you, even when you accuse me in front of a national audience. The audience gave a collective "Awoo." Kelly smirked, clearly touched but unwilling to let him have the last word. That's very sweet, Mark, she said. But you're still buying me my own blanket and my own bowl of popcorn. Because this monster thing? It's becoming a pattern. The show moved on, but the playful fight became the talk of social media before the hour was over. Clips of Kelly calling Mark a blanket-hoarding popcorn thief flooded timelines, with fans chiming in about their own monster spouses. Behind the scenes, producers couldn't have been happier. They'd been in the industry long enough to know that what America loves most, besides coffee and a good bagel, is watching real love unfold in all its messy, ridiculous, human ways. Kelly and Mark delivered that every morning without fail. And though she called him a monster, Kelly's laughter during the commercial break told the true story. As Mark leaned over and whispered something only she could hear, she swatted his arm but leaned closer, her eyes shining. Because the truth was, monster or not, Mark was her monster. And that, America agreed, was the secret to their magic.